Welcome back to Munchausen's Proxy, where we have gotten a bit of a surprise with news out of the latest attempt to make the He-Man brand into a viable franchise. Amazon MGM and Mattel Films have decided that Bumblebee director Travis Knight will be helming the live-action reboot of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. It will be a film that will be based on the toy line and not any previous incarnation of the IP. Scheduled to hit theaters on June 5th in 2026, Amazon is announcing this as a theatrical release rather than a straight-to-Prime movie. Although the director of the Roadhouse reboot thought he was getting a theatrical release for his film too, so we will see. We also have an announcement on the casting of Prince Adam / He-Man in the person of Nicolas Galitzine. I would add some prominent credits to that announcement, but the 29-year-old actor has not been in anything significant or familiar other than the terrible Amazon Prime live-action remake of Cinderella, the one with the rather flamboyantly cross-dressing Billy Porter as the fairy godmother. The one that even critics, who usually love that kind of subversion of source material, slammed the film and have it sitting at 31% for top critics on Rotten Tomatoes. However, if he can act, and I have never seen anything he has been in, and they get him in the gym between now and whenever they film the actual movie, he might actually wind up being at least alright. Of course, that is assuming the director Travis Knight is not crap, which is not a given when one peruses his filmography, and the writers are not of the Kevin Smith school of He-Man. It might work. That last is also not a given because with the announcement of director and actor came a synopsis of the film's current story. Apparently, a 10-year-old Prince Adam winds up lost on Earth and separated from the Sword of Power. He spends the next 2 decades looking for it before finding it and being whisked back to Eternia. Upon returning, he is wrapped up in the defense of the kingdom against Skeletor and his minions. And somewhere between finding the sword, being beamed back to Eternia, and fighting against Skeletor, Prince Adam is supposed to uncover the mysteries of his past and become He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. For anyone who grew up on He-Man in the 1980s or the revival of the cartoon in the early 2000s, all He-Man related material has been rather disappointing since. The aforementioned betrayal that Kevin Smith and Netflix perpetrated a few years ago, wherein the show killed He-Man about 15 minutes into the premiere, and Teela bitched to the grieving king and queen about not being in on the secret that Prince Adam and He-Man were the same person, before taking over the show, was an abomination. That they then went on to kill He-Man a second time and then turn Teela into a virtual goddess by the end while redeeming Evelyn just made the whole thing a farce. That is not to say the first attempt to bring He-Man to live action was much better. But at least He-Man acted like He-Man, instead of the whole thing devolving into girl boss nonsense where the villains suddenly become relatable. Dolph Lundgren was as perfect a He-Man actor as you could hope for in the 1980s, despite his accent. Alas, the studio running that production was broke, so the movie's budget was minuscule, and they still managed a semi-entertaining flick for a 1980s cheese fest, even if it wasn't a hit. That the live-action reboot of He-Man starts out with a little-known actor in the part is not necessarily all that troubling. If he is a capable actor, has a good script, and a director interested in actually doing the IP justice, it could work. Will it? Who knows? This is Hollywood in modern day. The number of layup movies they either are not making because such projects offend their sensibilities or are completely screwing up is getting hard to keep count of these days. A good He-Man movie should be an easy sell. Alas, dominant male-led movies wherein said male is not led around by a strong female character or three and or is not emasculated as the story progresses, are vanishingly rare. The simple fact that it was a surprise that He-Man is going to be white tells a fair amount about the state of Hollywood and their ability to translate existing IP into film and television. Only time will tell if they can manage this, but the fact that it is Amazon, the home of the Rings of Power and the Wheel of Time, does not give me much hope. But then again, there is not much hope to be had in Hollywood. That is all I have for this video. If you like what I do here, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video, and comment down below. It all helps the channel and is greatly appreciated. Until next time. Tschüss.